Hi, my name's Julie, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, as I was saying, my name's Julie, and I am the blogger behind onceuponacheerio.com. And as a blogger of a craft and crochet blog, I actually wear many different hats. So, I'm the crochet artist or crochet designer. I'm a crafter, I'm a writer, I'm the IT guy behind the blog itself. Um, and I guess more recently, I've have to come to terms with that I'm a small business owner. And to be honest with you, it feels like I have imposter syndrome when I say that because it doesn't sound right. Anyway, um, first of all, I want to welcome you to my very first vlog. And if you can't tell already, I'm trying not to be so awkward. And I'll admit that I'm not a natural in front of the camera. In fact, many times when people ask me if I want to be in a picture or if I want to be in a video or anything like that, I would always be, um, like thanks, but no thanks. I much rather be the person behind the camera. And that's probably why you'll see that a lot of photos and stuff on my Instagram account is doesn't have my face on it. And I much prefer to be like faceless or like not showing my face at all because it's it's a little uncomfortable for me. I'm not gonna lie. So in fact, seeing my own face on the camera or on the screen right now makes me a little nervous. And the idea behind that I'm gonna publish this or, put this out there on YouTube for other people to see is makes me a little nervous. Um, I probably have what you would call like camera anxiety or camera shyness. Um, and it's something that I want to overcome because I'd like to be able to do these vlogs more regularly in the future. And I'm hoping that the more practice that I get, the easier it will be for me to talk to in front of a camera. And I'm trying to learn how to be a little bit more comfortable in my own skin or be more comfortable with myself. Um, I have two little girls, and I mean, raising kids is hard enough, but raising two little girls with like, in this world where there's like so many like self-esteem issues and body image issues, I just want nothing more for them than for them to love themselves for who they are. And I'm just trying to learn and practice what I teach them. And honestly, filming up to this point has already taken me a lot of takes. And not to mention that I'm going to have to watch this later and, filter through all the clips that I've taken and watch myself and listen to myself. And so, like, just thinking about it is just, it's going to be fun. So, a little bit about myself. I have been crocheting for over 10 years now, and I've been documenting all the stuff that I make and everything like that on my blog for just over 7 years. And Once Upon a Cheerio actually started off as an Instagram account where I was just taking pictures of what I was making and sharing them online. And for the most part, I was actually making things from other people's patterns and, sharing that online. Um, and over time, I started wanting to crochet things that I couldn't find a pattern for. And then so I started creating my own patterns. And when I started creating my own patterns, I found myself wanting to share those and probably write it all down somewhere and keep track of it. And I wanted my own platform to share it on. And so that's how onceuponacheerio.com was born. I'd say that I'm a pretty crafty person. I actually dabble on a lot of different crafts, but crochet is the one that stuck with me the longest and stuck with me the hardest because I just love it so much. So you'll find other crafts that I do on onceuponacheerio.com, but crochet is kind of like its main thing nowadays. So I learned how to crochet using free patterns that I found on the internet. And to be honest with you, I'm actually extremely grateful for all the crochet designers and artists out there who share their patterns on the internet for free because they're literally sharing their talent out there and allowing for people like myself to have access to those so available. Like all I had to do was really just pick up a hook and some yarn, and those were relatively inexpensive things. And just from those things I was able to just start and learn the craft. So, because I learned how to crochet using free patterns that I found from all over the internet, the patterns that I create nowadays, I also make them available on my website for free and for the world to enjoy. And I guess you can say that this is my way of giving back to the crochet community. And honestly, because I'm able to make my crochet patterns available for free. Like so many more people have access to it. And someone on the other side of this world could be making something from my pattern and then later on tagging me on it on Instagram and showing me that this is what they created using my pattern. And honestly, like it's such a satisfying and gratifying experience to know that someone was able to recreate my creation using my pattern. And this is like the drive behind why I do what I do, because I really like making things. I really like teaching people how to make things. And this experience here is what is keeping me going and keeping me wanting to make more things and make more cool things that I can share. So that's what I love most about being a crochet designer or an artist or whatever you want to call it. So this YouTube channel is not new. Um, I was actually able to get my YouTube channel, I was able to pick up some speed on my YouTube channel last year when I published, or I guess posted, whatever you want to call it, on a couple of like crochet tutorials or crochet patterns and uploaded them to YouTube. And those gathered quite a number of views, which I was grateful for. And I was actually able to get my YouTube channel to a point where I was able to monetize it. Um, but the truth is that I don't actually like filming myself crocheting. I know I'm already behind the camera and like, what's wrong with it, right? But the truth is that like I didn't really have the right equipment to film myself crocheting. And it's always so awkward, like trying to keep my hand within like the view of the camera because honestly, like when I crochet, I move my hands a lot and it annoys me when like, oh, later on when I watch the clip that like, oh, it turns out that my hand wasn't even in the shot, or like the crochet hook or like the stitch that I was putting the hook in wasn't even in the shot. And it's like, well, that made it kind of useless. So I now have to reshoot it. And I'm the other thing is that I'm kind of a perfectionist. When I have to crochet in front of a camera, I feel the pressure to need to crochet that entire round all at once. And the truth is that when I crochet, I actually take it apart quite often than you'd think. Because, like, say the stitches is no good, like, oh, there was a split stitch here. I could have done it better. And I just like feel this pressure that I can't do that in front of a camera. So, what you don't see is that once I finish filming one round, I actually turn the camera off or like stop it for a bit, take it out of the view, frog it, take it all apart, and then redo it again. And like, yeah, obviously that is clearly wasting a lot of time. And, but I just can't help it. I'm like, I guess I'm a perfectionist of some sort, and I just like can't help but redo it and make it look perfect. So, in addition to all of those things, I also have to edit these videos. And I have to edit it by watching all the clips that I've taken, which probably takes me just as long as when I was taking the clip because I have to make sure that my hands and my stitches were in the shot that I was taking. So I felt like editing these videos took a lot of work. And I mean, it could just be me because I'm not used to doing it. And maybe if I had more experience that I would become a little bit more efficient with it. But at the end of the day, I just wasn't able to like consistently post new crochet tutorials or new crochet patterns on YouTube because of that very reason. And so eventually sometime in like the last I guess later in the last year, like I've dropped below 4,000 hours of view time or 4,000 hours of watch time on YouTube. And so the channel eventually got demonetized. Um, However, I don't really want to quite give up my YouTube channel. And I'm trying to look for a way to sustain it without me spending hours and hours editing YouTube like crochet tutorials and patterns because I like creating patterns more. And it just, I feel like if I have to film it, it takes away from me and my time to create more patterns and create more cool things. Because, um, yeah. So the idea of vlogging came up. And honestly, like I've been consuming a lot of YouTube content lately. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do work a 9 to 5, or I guess my working hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday to Fridays. And I sit in front of the computer a lot, where I'm doing a lot of things. And so, like in the background, I've just been playing these YouTube videos, usually of podcasts where I can learn something. And I just listen to them while I'm working. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and watching a lot of small business YouTube videos. Maybe not watching, maybe more of listening. If you're my coworker or if you're my boss and you're watching this, please don't think that I'm slacking off because I'm not slacking off. This is just happening in the background as I'm working. Um, but as I'm watching these videos, like there's a lot of people who share their daily life of whatever they are or tips and tricks of their small that they've learned along the way with their small businesses and I thought hey maybe I could do that too and maybe that could be a way for me to sustain my YouTube channel and it seems so casual like there's not a lot of editing that's required it's kind of like just talking to a friend and so I thought that maybe this is something that I could do, like, as I'm getting a little bit more comfortable being in front of a camera. So like a lot of these people look like they just picked up their camera and started talking to it, and that's how it all began. So like I'm gonna try to keep it short, like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, although you know, I have no idea how long this video is going to be until I edit it. So we're gonna see like how this ends up. But like I'm aiming for 10 to 15 minute per vlog. And honestly, yeah. Like, honestly, it seems a bit counterintuitive because I had just said that I was uncomfortable being in front of a camera, and now I'm consciously making the decision to be in front of a camera and talking. So, like, why am I doing this to myself? Or, like, the other question kind of runs in my head, like, who's going to watch this, like, after I publish it? Like, who are you people? Um, am I even interesting enough for people to hit that subscribe button and continue following my journey? Um, this is more of an experiment than anything as I'm trying new things for 2025. And so we'll see how this goes. I I honestly don't know. So for this vlog, I'm hoping to share some things that I don't really get to share on my blog. For example, the behind the scenes, like my workspace, maybe, the inspiration behind the creation itself, the creative process that goes into bringing an idea to life, or even what's currently inspiring me. And I have a lot of ideas flying around in my head right now. Um, like I can also share like work in progresses or sneak peeks of upcoming patterns and maybe even things like crafts that I'm trying out just for fun that maybe you might be interested in too. So some other things that I can share on my vlog is like how I started or like where I am right now or where I plan to go with this. These are things that like I don't really get to share on my blog because first of all, I don't even know who reads it. Like people who come to my blog are really just there for the patterns. They're not there to know who I am, I don't think. If you're also looking into, starting your own craft or crochet blog, I can, share with you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way so that you don't have to start from square one like I did. And I'm thinking that this vlog will keep me motivated and accountable as well. Like right now, I don't really work towards any deadlines. I don't have any deadlines, which is great, honestly. Um, but there's a lot of things that like I start creating. I don't even know if I should share it on Instagram because I don't know if I'll ever finish it. And so like that's not great, I would say. But if I have an audience here, or if I'm like, if I've shown something that I'm creating right now on my vlog, like it'll keep me accountable that, like, hey, there's that thing that I need to finish because I shared that thing like 2 weeks ago and I haven't come to, work on that. Or like, taking photographs of the things that I make is also like another pain point of, crochet blogging because I'm not very good at photography. And so like I always leave that part till the last. And you know, having a vlog, sharing these things might keep me accountable because, hey, you shared that thing 2 weeks ago. Where is it now? So maybe this will be a bit of a drive for me to actually finish my work in progresses. Um, and I'm hoping that my vlogs can be a way for me to connect with my audience, i.e. you. And this is a place where you'll get to know who I am and, see me and get to know me as like a person and maybe even a friend. Like in terms of how often I plan on sharing my vlogs or how often I plan on filming these vlogs, um, I don't really have a set schedule for that yet either, which is interesting. Initially, I had planned that maybe this could be a weekly thing, if it doesn't take me too much time. But the thing is that like filming today's vlog actually took me a long time because I had to take many takes. And I don't know, maybe it'll be a little bit easier in the future when I am a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera and I don't have to like script it all before filming it. But you know, I was initially thinking about weekly because I have a lot of things to share right now. But that could also be because like this whole vlog idea is brand new. Um, and but realistically, I'm a one person team and I don't know, like I don't want to spread myself too thin. So like if things get a little tough and I can't finish these vlogs, like I might extend it to like once every 2 weeks or, twice a month, like once every 15 days, whatever it could be. Um, and yeah, but right now, like the idea of starting a vlog is really exciting to me. So I'm really hoping to kickstart this soon, and be able to continue sharing. So if you have any ideas of what you want me to share on my vlogs, please let me know in the comments below because, I don't if there's something that you want to know, like just ask me and I'll be more than happy to share if it's like not too private, I guess. But yeah, like it'll help give me some stress relief to so that I don't have to think of the contents maybe. Anyway, if you've watched all the way up until this point, thank you so much. I didn't think that I was that interesting for you to watch all the way up until now, but thank you. And I hope that you hit the subscribe button. If you, leave a comment below on how I can improve myself with these vlogs, uh, I would love to hear it. Please no mean comments though, because I know that I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I will get there one day. I will. So anyway, again, please subscribe and give this video a like, and it'll encourage me to keep vlogging. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Blah, 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 blah. La, 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 la. Ah.